Hello, Hadi. Temgiya Sagiramana Komolso. Today is September 30th, Orange Shirt Day. Every child matters. And people put the shirt on to honor, to recognize the experience that residential school kids went through and survivors. But it's more than that. I think it should be more than that. Phyllis' story and her courage to share her story was great, and to honor that is important. But they took away more than that. They took away her choice. They took away her support. They took away the opportunity for her grandmother to show love. Even when we're not there, it's important to feel loved. I've been a residential school worker. I've been a counselor. And I think the stories are important. They're an important first step of healing. But we need to move past that. We shouldn't be sharing the same stories that happened 30 years ago like it happened this morning or yesterday. We need to recognize those and not hide them. But we need to move on. I say, what did residential school take from us? They said it's illegal to travel. You can't leave your reserve. Now we can travel. They said no more ceremony. We're allowed ceremony. I got smudge burning in my office right now, this minute. They wouldn't let us drum. They wouldn't let us rattle. But I belong to a drum group that stretched across the country. And still, during that, when it swept the country, I still saw a lot of people in my community with drums hanging on the wall, with no idea that this is helpful, this is healing. And when pandemic hit, that's how they answered. How do we get through this? We pick up our culture. We rely on the old teachings. Our language, they tried to take that away because they wanted to break our identity. I remember all my uncles had Elvis Presley style hairdos because when they were kids, they had it shaved off in residential school. I grow my ponytail. Not as a slap in the face of residential school, but to honor our ancestors. This is part of who we are. There's lots of teachings to the braid alone. When I braid my hair in the morning, and I was taught that you put your mind, body, and spirit into your work. So when I get ready for work in the morning, or get ready for my day, period, just living, I'm going to put all of those things into it. Not just something I learned on the internet. Not just because I read somewhere that sage and smudge is good for you. I live this. I walk this. I'm a counselor and people won't smudge. They have anxiety, but they won't talk like in a talking circle. I'm feeling lost, confused, but they won't pick up a drum. And this is healing. This is where we're going to find it. One of my coworkers says, healing? You're going to put the onus on the victim? I'm like, yeah. Whose responsibility is it? It's not chief and council. It's not Trudeau. It's not Harper. Harper and his apology was a slap in the face to every person that experienced anything, and we still experience it daily. Oppression, racism, systemic racism, even on the job. I had to ask permission to smudge at a native function, and the bosses told me no. They told me go upstairs or go outside in the rain. Like, okay. But we find a way to pick it up. If I don't pick up my drum, that means they beat it out of my grandpa. If I don't pick up the medicine, that means they beat it out of my grandma. And my grandma and grandpa were stronger than that. They withstood. They survived for us today. If I don't speak my language, that means they beat it out of my grandparents. So I say, Hamia, thank you. I say, Luam Kori, my heart is happy. I can wear an orange shirt and be proud of who I am. I can walk down the street and say, I'm Kitsan. I can wear my hair long in a braid or free. No one's going to tell me to cut it. My kids, they drum. I teach my kids about the medicine. And one of the elders I worked with said that every time they hurt me, it made me stronger. Every time they told me not to do something, it made me stronger. She said, don't speak your language, and I didn't. But when I got home, I started a language group. And I was so happy to hear that. She said every time they hurt her, it made her stronger. She started a culture group in her community. And I worked in her community, and she accepted me even though I wasn't that nation. And part of her struggle was when elders speak, young people don't listen. But that's an idea. I said, look in this room right now, in this circle. There's young people in this room, and they heard you, and they felt you. And I want you to understand that. Don't feel like all of this falls on deaf ears. Plug away. Pick up that ceremony. Pick up those culture pieces. Pick up those songs. Pick up your smudge. Learn about it. Learn to get it. When I'm able-bodied, I'm going to go out as much as I can and pick medicine. But when I'm not, I hope I've taught somebody behind me to go get it for me. I say medicine is not mine until I can teach it. That's when I can share it. When I can share it for somebody else, and not just me, for my brain. I walk the walk. I live this life. And I honor my elders. And I honor those kids that came before us. So our kids today and the kids down the road, my grandchildren, don't have to experience this. I would not stand by and let anybody be tortured and say you can't speak that. It hurts me every time my grandson gets his haircut shaved. It hurts me deep inside, seriously. I got another grandson, big, bushy, long hair. Like, oh, this kid is awesome. And he's good at stuff. He's on the land, fishes, hunts, and he's good in school. So we can live in both worlds. We don't need reconciliation from the government. Harper was never going to do nothing for us. Trudeau makes promises and he broke them all. It's all about the land for them, and that's all it's always been. Residential school was about taking our resources and erasing the Indians. I can use that word. I'm not a number someone says. I'm good son. But we're all in this together. And to recognize where we come from. Who said it? Winston Churchill. The farther back you look, the further forward you can see. I'm looking forward. I'm looking, where am I going to go? What can I do with my job? With my skills, with my tools, with my medicine, with my teachings. I love this life. I love my work. I love my community. I love my family. So, Mike Johnson is my name, Christian name. My Gitsan name is Tigilch, grunt. So I pay attention to when people make noise. My spirit name that I was given after Sundance was Manitou Musqueam, Spirit Bear. And when I ran the sweat lodge, one of my elders told me to grunt So if you hear me grunting, it means I'm working and I'm practicing my ceremony and I'm proud of it. And I do it. Doesn't matter what anybody says. I'm at my job right now. This is my job. But when I step out the door, this is my life. This is what I do. This is how I walk. This is how I talk. I listen. I do my best. I bring the medicine. That was a promise I made 2009, and I've kept it every single day possible. So today I'm going to wear my orange shirt, but every day I'm going to say, let's heal. Let's pick up these pieces. Let's take back what they tried to take from our parents and grandparents. Let's share these wonderful gifts with our kids. Culture is healing, and we're healing every day. Our relations.